he actually agrees to go ahead and see him. Brings him out in this like dark like alleyway, and, and they text him. And it scares the crap out of both of them.
Yeah, it was so funny because he was lit up, from underneath, and he was real scary looking. He was giving that Roy Kent grimace,
I mean,
growl.
Roy
That
is
scary
always kind
face.
of. Could you imagine running to Roy in a dark alley?
No. Yeah, it'd be rough. But they so this part was kind of like, whatever. This one was a little road as far as, oh, well, what do you do with the sports professional who's kind of lost interest or he's having a tough time? You go out and play the sport like you used to when you were a little kid. And
Yeah,
this part was a little rote, but basically it did its job because it showed Ted that Roy has a coach inside of him.
yeah,
That Roy has what it takes to inspire and to realize what his players would need, and there's potential there for Roy to be a great coach. And this got me thinking, and I'll bring it up with you. Like, do you think Roy as head coach of Richmond is end game here? Do you think Ted will come in and do his magic and get them back to where they need to be as a team, and then like an angel, like Mary Poppins, just go away and Roy takes over the team?
oh, I
That's
mean, we're
end of
talking.
series stuff.
That's like that's way like
Is it too
out there.
soon? Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, honestly, that's a good question because Roy speaks the player's language.
Right.
Ted doesn't. Ted actually, like we said, he speaks the language of like forming the family, getting them all to believe in each other. But when someone needs to be kicked in the ass, that's Roy's job.
Right.
We won't see. What was his alter ego?
Oh,
Ted Lasso. Yeah, something. Yeah, we won't see him again because it won't be necessary.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they actually got him out there, and he's like, "Why am I playing out here?" And they get going. He's like, "You know what? Play with these guys, see what it takes." And I mean, we'll see Isaac here, regaining some of that, that fun, that enjoyment that he had when, things were easier.
You gotta be kidding. Woo! Macadoodle-doo! Macadoodle-doo!
Yeah, that's the moment where it clicks in for Ted that his suspicions are basically confirmed as far as how it goes with Roy. Roy's ready to kind of step into that role if he wanted to. But you know what I did notice out of this scene too. I finally know Isaac's last name, McAdoo, because of the little Macadoodle Doo. And I'm like, that's what they do in this show. They give each of the players. That's why I don't know some of the players' names, because we just haven't had a little thing like to help us memorize it. Like with Jamie Tart, we had the little Jamie Tart song, Jamie Tart, and Roy Kent. You have the obvious Roy Kent song, which we hear later in this episode. Even with Danny Rojas, when the first scene that he's in, he comes in and he's running through the field, and his introduction is like Danny Rojas, Danny Rojas, Danny Rojas. He was saying his own name to like ingrain it into the viewers' minds. But they finally did it for Isaac McAdoo.
I love
that now.
I mean, you're right. This is kind of standard stuff, and the player, basketball player goes back to the streets and plays street ball. Essentially the same thing here with the soccer. But I loved it because we were getting, as a soccer football fan, we got some actual playing of the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a spot earlier where he actually hits it off his shoulder, which I'm even little I was like, I think that would have been a handball, but nevertheless. But there's that. Then when he's playing and they pass it across and he steps over the ball and lets it go past him, I loved it because I'm watching. I'm like, oh, that was freaking awesome. So I mean, that stuff right there spoke directly to me. So I had no problem with the cliche of what it was, and then watching Roy sit back, and going through it. Enjoying watching, Isaac regain the joy the same way in the same spot that he did.
Yeah.